everyone, Felice Gerwitz here, and I want to share with you something that is dear to my heart, and that is saving you money. Can you use encouragement for your homeschool journey? Have you been searching for an online learning program designed to ground your family in a Christian worldview? Well, now you can at MediaAngelsMembership.com. Our affordable membership packages fit your budget and busy life. Now you can access customized membership packages for your homeschooling family from the extensive Media Angels library of books, classes, and Bible studies. You may select the ebook bundle, the creation bundle, the premium bundle, or the forever bundle. Each bundled set will save you vast amounts of money. Our packages begin at less than $10, and you can use it for the whole family. So go to MediaAngelsMembership.com for more information. That's MediaAngelsMembership.com. You'll be glad you did.
This is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network. Welcome to the Vintage Homeschool Moms Show. Your host, Felice Gerwitz, is an author, a publisher, and your radio show host. She will encourage, educate, and inspire you with answers to your most pressing questions, from homeschool, marriage, parenting, and much more. Felice loves to equip moms to live a Christian life because every moment counts. Be sure to visit her website at MediaAngels.com. And here's your host, Felice Gerwitz.
Well, that to-do list just keeps growing, but keeping kids close should be on the top of the list. In this episode, we're going to discuss easy ways to include the children and enjoy the holidays. Welcome, friends. This is Felice Gerwitz, and this is episode 387 of Vintage Homeschool Moms. You can find the show notes at VintageHomeschoolMoms.com, and today's topic is Merry Christmas, Keeping Kids Close. I want to thank our sponsor, and that is Media Angels. You can find out more information at MediaAngels.com, as well as the Media Angels membership. And I'm going to throw out there, I am doing an in-person conference for the first time ever in Tampa, Florida in February of 2020. So if you're listening to this currently, I would love to meet you. It is for anyone who would like to do more as a work-at-home mom or grow a business that they currently have, maybe an online business, want to write a book or have a podcast, maybe start a blog. I am going to be joined by some of my friends, and if you want more information, go to ultimatechristiancommunicatorsconference.com and check it out. I would love to meet you. Well, you know, as I share this episode with you, sometimes I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are amazing. You are dedicated moms and dads who love your kids. But in the busyness, we sometimes lose our focus, and our worst traits come to the forefront, and we are overwhelmed by it all. And then life happens. Someone's sick, or there's a life situation to deal with, and never mind the budget. It just goes out the window at this time of the year. December is a time when the sales crop up and everything looks too good to pass up. Well, friends, I want to encourage you in this episode of Vintage Homeschool Moms to keep the focus of the holidays on the true meaning of the season and on your kids. I just did an episode over on A Few Minutes with God podcast on the true meaning of Christmas, and that's episode 121, and you can listen to that with your kids. Go over and visit that website. Well, it's easy to say I shouldn't get so overwhelmed, but the reality is different. And believe me, it happens to the best of us, even those who are super organized. It doesn't have to be that way. And something that happened recently just showed me that all of our efforts are so worth it, especially for those of us with our kids who are little and, you know, who homeschool. I believe that homeschooling is such an amazing thing, and what you are doing, parents, there's just nothing that compares to that. I received the best gift from our pastor at church when he came for dinner one night, and the kids never left the table whenever he came over. And he's very entertaining with his Irish accent. He's so full of stories, and he can talk about engines with one of my sons and then make us laugh with stories about his seminary days, but this is a man who truly loves the Lord and has a pulse of what's going on in the daily lives of us, the men and women who are rearing kids. So back to the gift. The gift he gave me came as a compliment about my kids, and I was just blown away. He talked about the evidence of faith in them and how they loved and honored the Lord. And he also asked me, which I thought was really interesting, why I thought that my kids, and put it in his words, had turned out so great. And I answered him really quickly without really thinking about it. And then later, as I thought about it more, I thought, even if I had been given more time, I probably would have the same answer. But besides being an example to our kids, and believe me, we're fallen like the rest of the flock. But besides, our kids seeing us do the best we could, our kids saw us to, mess up and ask for forgiveness. Our kids saw us in our best times and in our worst times. But our kids saw us, and that was my answer. The reason is we spent time with our kids. Our kids were there through the thick of things. We worked around our home together. We homeschooled from K through 12 with some college credits for our two youngest. Our favorite vacations were our pop-up camper and going on camping trips, and we kept things simple and made the best of our time together. Sure, it was work, but we enjoyed it. These were some of our best memories. Ask your children what their favorite activities are, and you are going to be surprised. Often it's the things you would least expect. For example, reading books together as a family, or just hanging out together, or watching a movie together. One of my friends does this as a Christmas tradition in their home. They read a book together, even though her kids are older. We can keep our kids close with activities and also events, whether you're decorating the tree or going out in the woods. Something I've never done but would love to do is chop a tree down and bring it in. I don't live in an area that has Christmas trees growing in the woods. You can build a snowman, go on long walks together, watch a movie, and talk about it afterwards, sit around a campfire. There's a ton of things you can do to keep them close. And during this busy time of the year, we need to remember, parents, that things don't have to be perfect. They just don't. And as long as we include our kids and we're together, that's the most important thing. I'm going to share some fun things to do with your kids that I think you'll enjoy. And you'll be creating family memories. The first is popcorn strings. Use a large needle and strong thread and make a popcorn string. You can either put this on a tree. If you live in the South, you probably don't want to put a popcorn string around your tree, but you can put them outdoors, and we've done this and decorate an outdoor tree, and the outside creatures will love you for this. You can make place cards for Christmas. If you downloaded the Christmas planner from the website at the Ultimate Homeschool Podcast Network, during this time of the year, you received a template for this, or make one of your own. And it works out really great no matter if you have a small or a large gathering, because everyone knows where they're sitting because they have a little place card there. And what better way to see it than to have the kids decorate it, and that's really fun. The third thing is you can make your own Christmas cards for family members. Be sure to write a scripture verse on it. For example, John 1:14, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. And then they can write a little something on there. And these are wonderful because guess what? They're going to become keepsakes, which brings us to point number 4, and that is create a family time capsule. Put in current pictures, memorabilia, a picture of your favorite toy or stuffed animal, and each person can write down their own favorites card. For example, favorite movie, favorite music, or favorite books, and put it in a box. Label it with the year, write down what it is. Kids can decorate it and put it up in the closet and take it out in a few years. Try really hard, to do this every year, and it will be so much fun because when you take it out in years to come, It's just going to create some great memories. I was going through one of my hard drives, and I found a bunch of pictures of when the kids were littler. And so I took some pictures and, sent them through text messaging to my kids, and they were laughing so hard about them. And they asked me where I found them, and I told them, don't worry, it's on a hard drive with like thousands more like it. But again, these kinds of things get put aside and we forget they're there. And so I've been really making an attempt to look for these things so that at Christmas time we can enjoy them all together. The fifth is sit outside around a campfire or stargaze. Enjoy the outdoors, perhaps bundled together with your family, but you're still going to enjoy it together. And whatever that is, whether you're reading a book or you're spending time outdoors or you're telling stories or, recalling some family memories, these are things that your kids will look back upon and remember. We can experience the joy of the holidays with our families and create those memories that will last the test of time. There is so much more joy and excitement about the coming of Christmas when we spend it together with our children. I know I enjoy it so much more, and I know you will too. Thanks so much for listening. Again, you can find the show notes for today's episode at Vintage Homeschool Mom, episode 387. Friends, take care. Have a wonderful and blessed and joyous Christmas with your family and friends.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Visit Felice at MediaAngels.com and TheVintageHomeschoolMoms.com. Vintage Homeschool Moms is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.